Hey everybody, welcome back to Airsoftology Monday's Q&A show, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and is also enjoying the first sunny day here in a long time, and it's really killing me. I'm your host, Jonathan Higgs. That's right, welcome back to the show. Another week, another one chock full of your questions down below. In fact, before we get into anything, here's how this whole thing works. If it's your first time here, I would love to have you join in here, be a part of the conversation. So if you want to do that and you have a question for the show, put it in the comment section below and vote up your favorite. Smash that thumbs up if you find a question you really like. Also, one more thing before we jump into it, don't forget, web store is still up and running. I've got it moved over to a new system, finally. It's running great. I've got shirts in there now. So I've got the Call Your Hits shirts that match the Call Your Hits patches. And of course, I've got all the other patches in store, in stock right now. Enough of me hawking my wares, talking about where we're going, and also telling you how it works. It is time for what you're really here for, and that is your questions in the Tippmann mail call. Ben Theodore writes, hey John, what skills and tactics do you recommend to learn before you go airsofting? So for me, I'd say if it's your first time out and you want to get some skills, I would practice shooting, it's easy to shoot pretty much on-handed, right? If you're righty, your right hand, lefty, left hand. Practice shooting off-handed. That's one of the biggest skills I think has helped me in airsoft, because a lot of times, if you're a righty, and most people in the field are righties, are going to pop out of the right side of that building, I will shift to the left and shoot left. I find myself shooting off-handed often. I mean, very often. Also, most enemies don't expect to see you there because they're typically always kind of thinking, if they're smart, they're going to be like, well, most people are righties, so they're going to pop out if I'm looking at you, the left side of the building, because they'll be your right. That's it. I think also communicating is something you should learn, like just basically practice communicating with your teammates, or whether they're your team or just people that are on your team that are assigned to you while you're playing. Letting people know, hey, enemy over here, this, like start communicating. Communication is key to winning on your team. I found that when my team, like my actual airsoft team from back home in Nashville, Tennessee, we play together, we're constantly yelling or using radios, but typically sometimes just yelling across the field at each other. Hey, two on your right. Hey, there's one in front of me. You're yelling. Yes, it gives away your position, but the information you can get, like, I'm trying to get this guy, he's got me pinned. I can yell over, hey, there's a guy in front of me. Can you get him? Boom, and he just destroys him because he's got a better angle on that guy than me. So communication is huge. I think that's another big one. And then learning to shoot from different positions, I think that really helps. Just getting the mindset of practicing when you play. Most people are expecting you to pop out at chest height, face height, right? And then when you pop out low around the corner, you kind of tuck under a car. There's a lot of things you can do. You can shoot people's feet. I mean, this is a 3D environment. It's 360 all the way around. So think smart about how you're playing. Just like that straight on angle isn't just always the best. Sometimes that low angle is good. Sometimes, and oh, here's one more tip before we go. One of my personal favorites. If you are working together with a team and you're trying to get an enemy out of a building or out of a structure, I find I end up shooting the structure like as much as I possibly can. Make a bunch of noise and allow your teammate to get a better position to get that shot on the opponent. I do that a lot and it's very effective. So I used to run a sport gun all the time. It would just go full auto on the wall. I wouldn't even try to hit the person. It would just be, rattling against that wall. So inside, all you're hearing is just BBs rocking this wall. And you're like, well, I'm not gonna put my head up. I'm not even aiming for the person. I'm aiming where I think they are inside the building, but hitting that wall to make the noise. And boy, if it has a metal roof or a Connex box, it's even better. And then my teammates are all moving up and getting those angles. I think that helps too. That's a nice little tip that works very well for me. So with all that in mind, I hope that's a couple little quick beginner tips to get you started on the battlefield and hopefully sharpen a few skills for you. Airsoft Review 015 writes, can I use crappy 12-gram BBs in my Cyclone grenade? Yep, short and sweet answer. Absolutely. I personally like to use cheaper BBs just because it's more affordable to run them in my Cyclones. And in fact, you're going to get better range and more unpredictability on the spread. So on gas-powered airsoft grenades, when you use lighter BBs, and I've only had like 3 2s around, and they're not that great when you're trying to launch 3 2s out of it. It's kind of it's lackluster. 2 O's or even 1 2s are fantastic. So short answer on this one, super short question, yes. Grab some 1 2s. One of the few times I would ever really recommend you doing it. Just make sure you don't get the really, really bad ones that have like the little molding seams on them, because then you could get them jammed up inside a little bit. Airsoft Tech writes, what LiPo battery brand and smart charger do you personally recommend? N74 or 11-1? So stick with a good brand. If you want to ship them in, I've had a lot of good luck with the Hobby King batteries. They are actually pretty affordable, but shipping times can be brutal, like a month. I mean, honestly. So that's an online thing. I do highly encourage going into stores. I think some of the better brands out there right now in the stores, a lot of times you can find the Hobby King batteries in the stores because they'll order them in and put them in there. That helps a lot, so you don't have to wait that time. Definitely also check out some of the ones, there's a ton of brands, but the two that really jump to my mind right now that I would consider good and balanced the correct way for your gun are Vulcan and also Elite Force. I think both of them have very good LiPo batteries. The third company I recommend that has very good LiPo batteries is G&G. They're 3-part and 2-part red. They're kind of red in color. So there's actually 3 great choices out there. All are very well-known brands, reputable companies. All of them will typically have some sort of warranty attached to them. I think the Elite Force LiPos, like 90 days or longer? Don't quote me. It might even be longer. It might be a year. I think it might be. So don't quote me on that, but look it up. I mean, that's pretty nuts on a LiPo. Plus the size, the capacity, and the C rating are all right for your guns. For 7.4 or 11.1, it's ultimately up to you as long as you don't take that C rating. And I have a video about C rating and how that works, and I'll try to link it to you below, or maybe put it up in the corner over here. C rating is the ability for a battery, in layman's terms, I'm just implying, to dump the energy it has in it out fast. So higher C ratings can, at a certain point, be more degrading to your gun and more wear and tear because it's just dumping a lot of energy into your gun at one time. You do get better performance, but there is a trade-off on that. I mean, sometimes you can overdo it and start to damage your contacts. So with that in mind, make sure you buy a battery that's balanced right. Most companies recommend a 15 or 20 C is what they're looking for, C rating. And if you buy from one of those companies, G&G, Vulcan, any of like Elite Force, any of those batteries, those are all going to be in that 15 to 20 C rating. Obviously, they're providing the batteries. They want you to have the best experience with your gun. 7.4 or 11, it's up to you. You're going to see a rate of fire change. 7.4 is equivalent to close to an 8.4 battery when you're looking at nickel metal hydride. 11.1 is definitely above a 9.6, so the rate of fire and the trigger response is going to increase. It's going to get better. You're going to get more BBs per second in full auto, and you're going to get a crisper trigger pull simply because the guts of the gun are cycling quicker and getting back around. So unless it's a gun that's just like super powered and I've got a soft spring in it, I'm typically going 11.1. There are times I do get a 7.4 just to kind of tone some guns down because they're doing some things like over rotating and things like that inside. But unless I have to do that, I'm 99 times out of 100 grabbing that 11.1 just because I like the extra, the feel of the trigger and the smoothness sounding of the gun and things like that. Again, my thoughts. Don't forget when you get these batteries to buy a balanced charger. Don't use a regular wall charger. That is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. You need to get a special balanced charger. Good news is they're affordable these days. And once you make the big switch, you might want to look into something a little nicer for battery charger as well. Like I said, Elite Force has a good charger. I think Vulcan does too. G&G, when you buy their guns, they come with LiPos. They come with a good charger already. They have a balanced charger in the box. And I think you can get theirs for relatively affordable too. So all those, again, are great options. Just make sure you buy a balanced charger to go. And you can mix and match brands. The standards are the same on batteries, so you can get a G&G battery and a Elite Force charger or mix and match or whatever. So again, hope that all helps out and help you with the LiPo choice. All right, guys, that's it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one comes from Gordy's. Actually recommended this one, and it is Stephen Lemessurier, I think. I am going to slaughter this name. Stephen, I'm so sorry. It's the name of the channel. It's actually his name. He's an airsoft player, and he does a lot of sniper cam stuff. And this is a channel exactly like what I was wanting to help. Now, he's got a little bit more on the subscriber side. When I clicked over, never heard of this his channel, and has like around 13.7 at the time, so 13,700. So quite a few subscribers. I mean, definitely one of the bigger channels I'd never heard of, but good nonetheless. Had some really big views, and of course, one we're looking at here is to kill a Juggernaut. Actually, very entertaining. The graphics he puts over it, the self-depreciating humor, just a little bit in there. As soon as I clicked in the video, I was like maybe 60 seconds in, and I was like, subscribe. I just hit the button because I was like, this is good. This is going to be some good stuff. He's also consistent on uploads. So those are things all I look for. And I think this is a fantastic channel, great video, and there's tons of other videos. So definitely if you guys are into the sniper video thing, a little bit of humor, but still good sniping and shooting, definitely take a look at Steven's channel and give it a sub. And if you get over there and you like what you see, especially the video, the Juggernaut, let him know I sent you over there. Say, hey man, Airsoftology sent you. And also thank Gordy's over there for giving us the tip. So also, by the way, if you guys have a channel you love or you run a channel, I would love to hear about you and help share you here in the video recommendation of the week. That is what we're here for. That is the core of what we're doing. I want to try to help grow this hobby and sport with everybody out there trying to do YouTube. The more YouTube channels, the better. So if you guys have one, don't forget, put it in the comment section below, just like you put your questions down there, and kind of vote those up to your favorites so I can see those. I do scrub through and try to find those every single week from now going forward. And I am looking for a couple criteria though. You don't have to have a ton of subscribers. I mean, I want to see like more than like 10, you know, like so maybe like 50 or 100. 100 subscribers would probably be like a good place to start. But more important than anything else is consistency in uploads. Just make sure you're being consistent, whether it's one a day, one a week, one every other week, you know, as long as you're being consistent. If it's a dormant channel, there's no consistency in uploads. There's probably not going to be one I'm going to be able to pick. I want to make sure that when people hit the subscribe button and I subscribe to it, I want to get more content. If I like what you're doing and we all share it, I want to see more of it. So that's pretty much my only comments, my only criteria. And it can be anything. It can be gameplay, it can be reviews, it can be whatever. Anything just airsoft related in general. Or if you do have some really cool fun ones, you're doing some like using airsoft in film, like small short film stuff. I love that kind of stuff too. So anyway, that's it for this week. And again, as always, thank you so very much for hanging out here with me every single Mondays. I hope I can make your Monday just a little brighter, because Mondays, they kind of suck, let's be honest. But like always, I will see you next time. Don't forget, put those questions down below and of course your favorite videos down below. And until next time, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, call those freaking hits.